we are with the front tire. Yeah, we on record, yeah. I didn't show some of the stuff. You got a couple one bolt on each side that holds the brake lines in, the 2 brake caliper bolts. Pull them off. I got some little stick in here to hold them, keep them from going together. And now I just took out the pinch bolt, and I've taken out the axle, or loosened it. And this is that other little, and it's a 19 millimeter. You get one in the kit, but it's partly for the spark plug and something else, and I didn't want to ruin it for trying to do this. So these are like about, maybe, I don't know, $3 each, maybe a little more. This is 19, and I think the back one is a 16. So just pull out the axle, and whoops, gotta be careful with the speed sensor. We're servicing it, not braking. So roll the wheel back, and then the speed sensor comes out with this little clip. So just kind of hide it up in behind the brake caliper, and the wheel should come out. I got a little 12-ton stubby in there holding with a piece of plywood. Well, you've seen me do that before, right underneath the engine. Okay, the wheel's out. So, and here is the spacer. Put that with the axle. Clean those up before we put them back in. Check the seals. Good. I'm not getting any weepage out of the around the edge here. So the seals are still holding. And in here you can see the little ears, the little dogs. There's one up here and one here that the speed sensor fits into. There and there. And what happens when the speed sensor dies is you run out of lube, and then it freezes up, and then it's plastic and starts spinning, and it wears out the tabs that fit over these ears. So, as I've said before. So let's go relieve the air pressure and start demounting this old tire, which, I guess since I have your attention here. Where did it go? There's a wear bar right there, and you can see I've got. It's getting time for the front one, so it's time for a new set. And I'm not really getting any scalloping. It might be worn a little bit more on the left-hand side than the right-hand side. So, and I need to mark this. Well, it's easy to tell which is left and right because one's got the speed sensor. Duh. Okay. Continue. Set up to pop the bead. I've got 2 2x4s that are thick enough to keep the rotors off, and then I've got a block up in there to keep it from going too far. And this time I've got a bungee cord on the bead popper to keep the damn thing from bashing me in the head like it did last time. And I was looking at working on this tire, and it was made in the 48th week of 2011. I haven't checked the back tire to see when it was made. Probably close. That's enough of that. We'll come back after I get it done and put on the machine. It helps too. I guess if I did these things often enough every day or whatever, remind myself to, I got the little spray bottle. I spray the bead with some of that lube, and they'd pop in the bead a lot easier. was finding it was easier too with the bead popped to push down on the rim, and that way the tire gets pushed up and then you can tighten the rollers on. You can look underneath and see them getting trapped in the little non-scratch nubbins down there that hold the rim. So let me get that. Well, let's see if I can do this like a professional. Get the bead down there, turn it 90 degrees, pull up, cam it up. Okay. Just like in the movies. Getting this little guy on was a real pain. This is a narrow tire, so let's get underneath and pop off the bottom. I guess I can do that while I'm still here. I got a strap tying the rim down, so pull up. There we go. Easy peasy once you've done it a few times. I think those guys on the video at Nomar have probably placed 100 tires on there before they did the video, so we'll come back. I gotta clean everything up and prep it and lube it and all that kind of stuff, and the speed sensor is down, so that this is the right hand side, so the tires will be going this way. Now, before I put the tire on, I want to do the roll on the bearing. See if I can feel anything. No, I don't feel any catches at all, so the bearings are good. I'm going to put this on the balancer just to see how the rim sets. This one's only, the front one only had one little 4-gram weight on it. About, here's the valve stem down here, and the weight is right there, so you can, now, really, here we go. Yeah, valve stem is here, and the weight is right there, so where my bouncing fingers are. And here's just the rim. Looks like, well, let's see what it does. Somewhere between the weight and the valve stem. So the tire did have a little bit to do with it. I'm going to leave that one single little weight on there after I put the tire, and then balance it again with the supposedly the dot-free Michelin tire. So yeah, it's right in there. Yeah, it's not quite balanced. So we'll do that when we get done. One of the things I did when I had it out here, I was noticing just feeling it felt like kind of gummy, so I put some alcohol on a cloth and cleaned it off on both, and in the grooves, in the groove right in here, where it goes from the bead rim to the seat here. There was, like, it'll collect dust over time. Now, these tires have been on here for quite a while, so. And now we'll lube up the, I won't make quite the mess this time. Lube up the center part. And the outside of this. Yeah. We'll get the tire lubed up next. I'll do that off camera. I thought it might be little difficult to push it on, but if you really lube it the correct way, it goes on just quickly. This is a little bugger. You look at this thing and you think, because this is the speed sensor, that's the left-hand side, so the wheel's got to be going that way, and that's what all the indicators. There's little arrows all along here on the outside, but if you look at the tread, you would say no, it's supposed to go the other direction. So weird. You'd think that these would be going this way. You know, as you hit the water, it would squirt it out, but it looks like it. I don't know. I am just following their instructions. So we'll come back. I'm running. Mind over matter, I guess. Probably helps if I wasn't so damn old. But I'm in pretty good shape. I did 3 weeks ago. I did 30 chin-ups, so I can't complain about that. Just a little bit of extra spray on here helped. But go ahead while you got the before you inflate it and wipe the bead off. Get down in here, get any of the schmutz out of the lube and the spray. So let me inflate this thing up and we'll balance. Well, I got my strap around it and I've been push it, the bead out. It seems to be almost setting itself, and then tighten it down and you get the air hose and we'll see how it goes. Try my handy dandy little quick flate here. If it'll fit inside this mechanism. Yep. There you go. Yeah, it does. I just got one of these things with a latch on. You unscrew the little ring here and the rubber and the little pin fall out, so you can use it as free flow. Free flow. On a, I did have to get an adapter, 1/8" pipe to 1/4" pipe to fit my nozzle. I tell you, this has been one pain in the old patootie. Before, with the old tire, I only had one little tiny weight. There was a 4-gram weight about in here somewhere. Now I got 6 of the bastards up here. So it seems to be holding there. Took quite a while to figure out that it was going to take that much to hold it in place. It'll roll a little bit and then it'll settle and then it'll come back here. So yeah, okay. I'm almost out of battery, so I'll charge it up. We'll come back tomorrow to put it together. I don't want to leave it setting overnight on the jack. Let me get out here. This is the speed sensor, and it's got lots of grease. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down and oops, put some new on again while I got it. So it's been lasting. I'm going to clean this. I'll re-grease it. I mean, it's just pretty simple, and then put it back together again. You can do this off camera. See you guys later. Right there, you can see there's a notch in the speed sensor and a projection that comes out on the inside of the right hand or left hand fork. And when you put the axle shaft in, you got to make certain that those two are one's inside the other one, so it doesn't spin, and that can be a little bit of a bitch. So just make sure you do get that done. Well, let's start this over again now that I got my reduction. This is only 3/8, and the torque drive is 1/2 inch. So I said again, 52 pounds. I don't have it set up at 52. That was about 40. So that's 51, 52. Okay, there we go. And I get the pinch bolt in. I want to put some anti-seize because it's into aluminum. And it's about 25 foot-pounds, or less than that. I'll check again. Well, the pinch bolt is 20 Newton meters. Let's get her to the right scale. Okay. There we go. That one's done. Now I'll go ahead and put the brakes back on and get them torqued down. We'll come back later. I got the brake caliper studs with anti-seize, and the little brake hose line up here's got its anti-seize and tightened down. And this little brake hose on the other side has got two hoses. It's got the speed sensor on the back and then the brake line, and then you make sure you get those in. They're not crossed over, but it's 29 foot-pounds on the brake calipers. Okay, go to the opposite side. Okay, and now I just got to switch over, and these guys are only like about 5 pounds, so that's just wrench tension. Everything's put away, which is probably as time consuming as actually changing a tire. And the old saying, it's not done until the paperwork's finished. So I got out my manual here and went down to where I keep all my records, wherever that page went to. And where did it go? Yeah, it's right there. You can see all the additions I have. Got 26,300 on the Scoot now, and new tires. And I was checking in here, the service manual, you write it all down. And when I put on the last set of tires, the Michelin Pilots, was 425/12. So they were on almost, Jesus, that long? 8 years? Yeah. And I got 10,800 miles out of them. And they still had a little bit of wear. Now here's the front. It was probably well, it was starting to get down there. It was starting to scallop along the edges where you get these high and worn down, because I'm not a speed racer, so they'll wear in the centers more than they will on the rounding part. So I guess it was a good thing I got new tires. I'm really interested to go out and ride these new Pilot 4s because they have so much more siping on them than these older ones do. And I was, yes, you probably don't see it I cut it all out when I was balancing the wheels, but you'll remember that one clip in there where I had the front rim without the tire on it on the balancer, and it just went bloop quickly. So it'd be interesting if I would have changed the valve core, or not the core, but the the rubber valve fitting, put in new ones, and then done that without that in there. I don't know how much that thing weighs, because the last time I had, like I said, we had the dots on the old tires, and I had 1 7-gram weight on it. This time it took 6 7-gram weights, so 42 grams of 7 times 6, yeah, 42 of weight to counteract whatever that was on the wheel. So I got to find a better way to, if these things were steel wheels, it'd be easy to take little magnets that were close to the 7 grams and then just add how many you need wherever you need them, and then cut the weights and stick them in that place. So I'll be working on that one, but everything else I guess is okay. So it's all right. Let's all be safe out there, and that COVID-19, that we're not getting sick, and especially as old farts. Yeah. So see you later. Big Wheels out.